Read, pick up a book and read. Open up the cover and read. Read all the words inside. Read, travel to a place and read. Open up your mind and read. Read, read, everyone read. Read, pick up a book and read. Open up the cover and read. Read all the words inside. Read, travel to a place and read. Open up your mind and read. Read, read, everyone read. Okay, this time you have to say read. Here we go. Read, pick up a book and read. Open up the cover and read. Read all the words inside. Read, travel to a place and read. Open up your mind and read. Read, read, everyone read. Read, 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 everyone read.
Alright, boys and girls, now we're going to move on to our story of the week. The name of our story this week is Oscar and the Cricket. We can see that the big words at the top of this book, that's the title. And if you guys remember, the title tells us the name of the story. There's also a sentence right here underneath the title that says a book about moving and rolling. So that's telling us a little bit about what this story is going to be about. We know that it's going to be about moving and rolling. And then right here we can see the name of our author, which is Geoff Waring. So since there's only one name on this book, we know that Geoff is the author and the illustrator. He wrote the words and also created the pictures. Ooh, I can see some leaves. Here we have our title page, which we know tells us the same information that's usually included on the cover of our book. One fall day, Oscar was up on a hill when he found something round and red in the grass. He sniffed and nudged it. What could it be? Cricket jumped. "It's a ball," he said. "You can make it roll. Try pushing it with your paw." So Oscar did. The ball rolled away through the grass. Then it lay still. "Why'd it stop?" Oscar asked. "The thick grass slowed it down," Cricket said. "Try rolling it on the path." So now Oscar is going to try to roll it on the path. Oh, but a long branch was lying in the way. "We'll have to move it," Cricket said. "I'm not big or strong enough." "But you are, Oscar. Let's try giving it a pull." "Urgh," Oscar groaned. Slowly the branch started to move. Oscar put the ball on the path and gave it another push. This time it rolled along and along and along. "The smoother the surface you roll it on," Cricket said, "the farther it will go." "It's rolling in a straight line," Oscar noticed, "and it's heading toward..." Oh my goodness, what is it heading towards, guys? That's right, it's heading towards the tree. The tree! Bounce! Oh dear, Oscar said. It's all right, said Cricket. The ball hit the side of the tree and that made it roll in a different direction. Can you guys see how the ball was traveling along here? And then bounced off the tree into another direction. For a moment, Oscar stopped watching the ball and looked up. All the leaves were swaying and fluttering. The leaves can move by themselves, Oscar said. It looks like it, Cricket said, but the wind is pushing them and making them move. Oh, so Oscar thought the leaves were moving on their own, but actually it was the wind blowing them. Does everything need a push to make it move? Oscar asked. What about me? Well, you can move by yourself, Cricket said. Most animals can. Our bodies have muscles to help us. Here's Cricket. And he jumped up and down. Moving makes you change shape, Oscar said, laughing. We can use our muscles to move ourselves and to move other things too, Cricket said. A leafcutter ant can lift 50 times its own body weight with its jaws. That means in its mouth. Look at this little ant, how strong he is to lift that ginormous leaf. Wow. A hawfinch can crack a hard cherry pit with its bill. So it has a very strong jaw. Look at that. A spider monkey can swing its whole body by its tail. Now that reminds me of when we learned about jungles. A dung beetle can push a ball of dung the size of an apple with its back legs. An elephant can pull down a tree branch with its trunk. Wow, all these animals are using their muscles in different ways. Just then, Oscar saw the ball again lying in the grass. This time, he gave it a great big push. It rolled through some mud. And it rolled through some leaves. Is it slowing down? Oscar asked. Yes, Cricket said, but it hasn't stopped. You gave it such a strong push. So the stronger the push, the further the object goes. Maybe it will never stop, Oscar said. But just then, a kitten put out a paw, and the ball stopped. Hello, said Oscar. I'm Oscar, and this is Cricket. Who are you? I'm Ted, said Ted. Can I play? What do you guys think? Do y'all think that Cricket and Oscar should let Ted play? Ted gave the ball a push. Oscar ran after it. Look out! Cried Cricket. Look, there goes the ball. Run, roll, flutter, jump. Everything was moving on the hill. Right here, guys, this is the index of our story. And it's showing us some different things about moving and rolling. Here it's saying that on the hill, Oscar found out these things. It says, getting going. An object needs an outside force, like a push or a pull, to start it moving. Here we can see a paw pushing the ball. And here we see the wind pushing the leaves. When Oscar had to move the branch, he decided to pull it out the way. Then Oscar also learned about keeping going. Once an object is moving, it travels in a straight line unless something gets in the way. So here was where his ball bounced against the tree. And then right here, it's talking about stopping. An object needs an outside force to make it stop moving too. The stronger the force, the more quickly it stops. So here the ball was rolling through the grass. It says stopping after a short time. Here was when Ted stopped the ball with his paw and he stopped it instantly. That means right away. Then right here, when it was rolling on the path, it stopped after a long time. Now that we've read our story, Oscar and the Cricket, I have some questions that I want to ask you guys. My first question is, how did Oscar get the ball to start moving? Let's look back in our story to see if we can answer that question. Here is where Cricket tells Oscar to give it that's right, to give it a push. So the push makes the ball start moving. Why does the ball suddenly roll in a different direction in our story? Do you guys remember when that happened? Right here. So, the ball was rolling along the path until it came in contact with the tree. So something got in its way. The tree got in its way and it bounced off in another direction. What do you guys think makes an object stop moving? In order for an object to stop moving, there needs to be an outside force. So, it may be something that changes its direction, like it could bounce into the tree and then stop. Also in our story, we saw that sometimes objects can just slow down over time. Here, the grass helped to slow it down. And then at the end of the story, Oscar's new friend, Ted, he was able to stop the ball. So in order for an object to stop, there needs to be an outside force. The force can be something like grass or mud, something to help slow it down, or it can be something like this. It can be somebody actually stopping the object. And my last question for you guys is to think about Oscar. Oscar really thought that moving and rolling were really awesome. Do you guys think that moving and rolling objects is fun and awesome? I want you to think with your parents about something at your house that you can move or roll. Try to come up with a list of things that you have around that you could move or roll. Okay, boys and girls, now we're going to look at our concept words for the week. This is our first concept card. Can you guys guess what this arrow means? It means the word down. If something is moving down, it's moving to a lower place. Very good. Our next word this week is fast. This animal that you see right here, guys, this is a cheetah. A cheetah is a very fast animal. That means that it can move very quickly. Now this, let me get our card situated. Now this is the opposite word for fast. This word is slow. And you can see that they have a picture of a tortoise right here. A tortoise is an animal that moves very slowly. That means it does not move quickly. Now this card is showing us a picture of a board game. And right here there's a blue circle with the word start on it. When you start something, you begin something. Now right here on this word card, you can see that there's a crossing guard helping these children cross the road. He has a sign right here that says the word stop. He is telling these vehicles to stop so that the children can pass by. When something stops, that means that it no longer moves. And our last word is the opposite of our very first word, which was down. You guys can probably guess what this arrow means. It means the word up. So if something moves up, it's moving to a higher place. These are our amazing words for this week. The first word is bounce. When something bounces, that means it moves up and down. Here you can see this little girl is on a hopper and she is bouncing. Everybody say bounce. This next card is showing some street signs. This word is direction. Direction is the way that something moves or goes. Here, these signs are pointing in all different directions. Everybody say direction. This next card is the word muscle. Muscles are the part of our body that help us move and lift things. Look at this man's big, strong muscle. Everybody say muscle. This next card is the word still. Look at how still this water is. When something is still, that means it is not moving. We can look at this water and we don't see any waves or any movement in it. It's just laying down still. Everybody say still. The next word is zigzag. When something moves in a zigzag, that means it moves in sharp turns. Everybody, say the word zigzag. Now this word means the opposite of zigzag. This word is straight. If something moves in a straight line, that means there are no turns or bends. Everybody say the word straight.
Hi boys and girls, my name is Miss Bennett and today we're going to be working on some math problems. Okay, so our focus for these math problems is going to be subtraction. Okay, that just means that we're going to take away some items from a big total amount. Okay, so we're going to look at two total amounts. Our first total amount we're going to look at is 5. Okay, and then our second total amount, this one's going to be kind of hard, but we're going to work on it together, is going to be 10. Okay, don't worry, we're going to work on them together. Okay, so the first one we're going to look at is our total amount of 5. Okay, now at this point, you need at least 5 items, okay? It could be 5 gummies, 5 candies, 5 Legos, 5 toys, anything that you at least have 5 of, okay? Now pause the video so you can go get your 5 items and put them in front of you. Great. Okay, now that you're back, okay, I have my 5 Cheerios, okay? See, we'll count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So I have 5 Cheerios, okay? Now, for subtraction, okay, we're going to take away, which means I'm just going to take these Cheerios, I'm going to put them to the side. You're going to do the same thing at home. Just take your items and put them to the side because we're going to need them for another problem, okay? So the first amount we're going to take away, okay, we're going to take away 3. Okay, so I'm going to take away 3 of these Cheerios and I'm going to put them on my counter. You take away 3 items and just put them to the side because we're going to need them again for another problem. Okay, so let's do it together. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now you take the time to count how many items you have in front of you. Great, okay, you should have 2. 1, 2. Okay, see, I have 2 Cheerios left. Okay, you should have 2 as well of your items. Okay, now, as I'm putting my Cheerios back on the plate, because we're going to need 5 again, I want to show you, because I wrote out the subtraction problem, which you guys can do at home if you want, as to practice writing your numbers. Okay, so, or you can practice writing out a subtraction problem like this. Okay, so we had 5. Remember, we started with 5. Here's our minus sign, which just means we're taking away a number. Okay, we took away 3 items. Okay, here's our 3. Here's our equal sign, which just tells us that it's going to show us how many we had left over here. Okay, so we had 2. So we have 5 minus 3 equals 2. Okay. So I'll put this right here so you can get a better look at it. So if you want to pause the video so you can write it out, feel free to. Okay, now, our next problem, okay, make sure you have your 5 items back in front of you, okay? See, I put my 5 Cheerios back on my plate for you guys. Okay, now, this time, we're going to take away 4 of our items, okay? Remember, just put them to the side because we might need them again for another problem, okay? So remember, we're going to take away 4. Okay, I'm going to take away 4 of my Cheerios and I'm going to put them on my counter. Okay, we're going to do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now, how many items do you have left in front of you? Fantastic. Okay, you should only have 1. Okay, see, I have 1 Cheerio. You should have 1 item left in front of you. Okay, now, if you were to write it out, okay, as a problem. Once again, you do not have to do this if you want to do it as practicing writing your numbers or practice writing out a problem. Okay, this is what it would look like. Okay, so we have 5. We have 5 here. Okay, we started with 5. Here's our minus sign, which means we take away. Okay, we took away 4. Then we have our equal sign, which is going to tell us how many we have left over here. We had 1. So our problem reads 5 minus 4 equals 1. Okay. So I'll put this here if you want to pause the video and write out the problem. Okay, good. All right, now, okay, this is going to be hard, but we can do it, okay? Now you're going to need 10 items, okay, 10. Okay, so once again, it could be blocks, it could be toys, it could be gummies, it can be candies, anything that you at least have 10 of, okay? So pause the video so you can go and make sure you have 10. Okay. Great. Okay, now that you're back, okay, see, I have 10 Cheerios right here on my plate, okay? So you can help me count just to make sure I have 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now, for our first problem of 10, okay, we are going to take away 5. Okay, that just means all we're going to do is just take 5 away and just put them to the side, okay? Don't do anything else. We're just going to put them to the side. I'm going to take my 5 and put them on the counter, okay? So, you do 5 with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now count how many items you have left in front of you. Great. Okay, you should have 5 left over. So let's count my Cheerios just to make sure I still have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Great. Okay. Now, I'm putting my Cheerios back on my plate for our next problem. But if I was to write this out, because I'm going to show you because I wrote it out as well, see what it would look like as a problem, okay? So if you want to write it out, you can. Okay, we started with 10. Here's our big number 10. Here's our minus sign. Remember, that just means we're taking away. Okay, we took away 5. Okay, here's our equal sign that tells us how many we're going to have left over here. Okay, so we have 10 minus 5 equals 5. Okay, so I'll put this closer so if you want to write out the problem yourself at home, you can pause the video so you can have a chance to write it. Okay, great. Okay, now you put your items back in front of you, okay, because we're going to do our last problem together, okay? So I have 10 of my Cheerios back on my plate, all 10 of them, okay? If you want to count them, we're going to count them one more time just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so I have 10. All right, this time we are going to take away 2 items, okay? Just remember, just put them to the side, okay? So I'm going to take away 2 Cheerios and you do it with me, okay? Ready? 1 and 2. Now, take the minute to count how many Cheerios or how many items you have left in front of you. Awesome. Okay, we should have 8. Okay, so let's count my Cheerios or count your items again with me to make sure you have 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have 8. Now, if you were to write it out as a problem, okay, this is what it would look like. Okay, we started with 10. Here's 10. 10. Okay, here's our minus sign. It means we took away. Okay, we took away 2. Here's our equal sign, which tells us how many we had left over, which is 8. Okay, so we have 10 minus 2 equals 8. Okay, so if you want to practice writing that out, you can pause the video so you can practice that right now. Okay, great. All right, I hope you guys had fun doing this problem. I know I did, coming up with this problem as well, coming up with these math problems to do with you. Stay safe. Make sure you check for more videos from your teachers, and we hope to see you soon.
Welcome back. Today in our poetry writing, we are going to be writing a poem using our 5 senses. So other than a poem using a lot of rhythm and tone, they also use a lot of beautiful language. So today we're going to open up our imagination and try to use our 5 senses to write a poem about an object. So we'll need to use our sight, smell, taste, touch, and sound. Let's get started. I'm now ready to write my 5 senses poem. And instead of writing about the sun, like I've been doing, I'm going to write about spring. To help myself focus on the 5 senses, I'm going to start each line. So I'll begin with looks like, sounds like, feels like, okay, I have sense of sight, sound, touch, taste. Tastes like. And finally, smells like. Okay, I have my 5 senses. Now I'm going to be thinking about my topic, spring. And think about what spring looks like, sounds like, feels like, tastes like, and smells like. When I think of spring, I think about all the beautiful flowers. And walking through my neighborhood, I see all these irises along the ditches. So I'm gonna have my first line say, looks like purple and white irises. What does spring sound like? When I go outside during spring, I hear birds singing. Yeah, that might be good. Sounds like birds singing a song. Now, what does spring feel like? Spring to me feels like cool air and the warm sun on my skin. Taste. What does spring taste like? Well, at this time of year, I usually go and get a snowball. So I'm going to say, tastes like watermelon, snowballs. Smells like. To me, spring smells like fresh cut grass. I have now completed my 5 senses poem. Spring. Looks like purple and white irises. Sounds like birds singing a song. Feels like cool air and warm sun on my skin. Tastes like watermelon snowballs. Smells like fresh cut grass. I hope you had a wonderful time writing a poem using your 5 senses. That was a little challenging, huh? Okay, see you tomorrow for our final poem of the week. Bye!
It's that time again, students. I'm so happy to be here to work out with you. I have designed a workout I think you're going to love that you can do by yourself during this time where you can't be with your friends. So take this time to work on you. So I'm going to be right here demonstrating these exercises and working out with you today, but this is something that you can do by yourself at any time of the day. So let's get started. Let's jog in place. while I'm telling you a little bit more about this workout. Okay, so we're going to work each exercise for 45 seconds. Then you're going to take a break for 15 seconds and then start a new exercise for 45 seconds. Now, if you can't do the whole 45 seconds, not a problem. Just do what you can and rest until we start the new exercise and join in when you can. All right, so I have it all up here on the board. You can see, and hopefully this timer is going to work and count down for us. All right, so are we ready? Let's do this workout. Okay?
Jumping jacks.
Jumping jacks. Woo! Okay, everyone knows jumping jacks. Okay, I want to do them slow. Feet out, hands up, feet together, hands down. Fast motion. Make sure that you are bringing your arms all the way up over that head. I don't want to see this. It's all the way up. And smile. Say, I love this. And we can see the time, so we know how much time we have. We have 13 more seconds. And we're starting to get that heart rate up. Feeling good.
Up next.
Oh,
Rest for 15 seconds.
Oh, we got that rest coming. I hope you remember to bring your
One.
water today.
Rest.
Woo! Rest. And if you need it, you take a sip of water.
Up next. Running man for
Running
45
man.
seconds.
Is right here. That's our running man.
1.
Here we go.
Running man.
Okay, that's kind of like if you were just moving your feet, they would be going, it's like a skip without the hop in it. And if the arms were going, they're just going up and down. So then you put the arms and the legs in the same motion. And if you don't do it perfectly and you're moving, that's all that matters. Exercise is about moving the body. You always want to try to have good form, but you can work on that. Okay?
Up next.
Here.
Rest for 15
5 more
seconds.
seconds. We got
3,
that rest coming.
1. Rest.
Yay. Ooh, but I recommend when you're resting, you're still moving. Moving the body. Don't
Up
sit
next.
down.
Tricep push-ups
Oh,
for
tricep
25
push-ups.
seconds.
Let me show you
3,
what those are.
2,
Okay.
1.
You want to get on your knees.
Push-ups.
You're going to put those, let me go ahead and do ones for those that know how to do it. They can keep moving. And those of you that need a demonstration, you put the hands underneath the shoulders. You want to make sure the buttocks is tucked under, and you're going to bring the chest down to the ground. Now, your elbows are in tight to your rib cage. See, when you're doing a push-up, your arms are a little more out. Triceps, your arms are in tight. So when you bend down, they're against your rib cage. It's kind of like right here. So
Up
when you're down,
next. Rest for 15
Well, we
seconds.
got that rest coming, so
3, 2,
ooh, let's get one more in there. We got it.
Rest.
Okay, well, now we get to rest. That was a tricep push-up that works the back of the arm. But now we have high skips. So that's a
Up
hop
next.
and a high
High skips
knee.
for 45
Hop and a
seconds.
high knee.
3, 2,
Here we go.
1.
Woo!
Skips.
High skips. Oh, this feels so good. I'm so happy that you're here with me, exercising, learning some new stuff. Okay, you can skip around, back, skip forward. You know what? You can go get anyone in your household and ask them to do this routine with you. You can design your own time on it. If 45 seconds is not enough, you can work out for a minute and rest for 20 seconds.
Up next. Rest for 15 seconds.
Coach Gonzalez is getting tired. I might need a little more rest.
Rest.
Okay. Oh, for this football drill's coming up, but I need to take a breather.
Up next.
Woo!
Football drill for
Are we
45
feeling
seconds.
good?
3,
I'm so proud of you. See
1.
those football drills?
Football drill.
Okay, for the football drill, it's like you're tapping your feet up and down, but you're doing it in fast motion. Keeping your hands out by your side. Now, if you want to get fancy with it, Move around. You can even touch the ground, come back up. Touch the ground, come back up. This is called the football drill. Now, you can go around to each side. You can do whatever you would like, as long as you are moving. Now, if there's some exercises you don't like, do one of the other ones
Up
that you've
next,
already learned.
rest for 15 seconds.
Okay, you got that rest coming. And if you're working hard, you shouldn't need it.
Rest.
Woo! I needed that rest. Oh, now we have that walking plank up. So, this is a walking
Up
plank.
next,
Plank.
walking plank up for 45
Down on your elbows,
seconds. 3,
up on your hands. Okay?
1.
We got 45 seconds. Let's do this. Woo! Awesome. Make sure you don't have your butt up in the air. Make sure you're keeping your body as straight as possible. So you're staying in this while your arms are going down to elbows and then pushing back up. Try to keep the body as still as possible. And if this is too hard, come to your knees and do the same exercise, but just do it on your knees. Now, as time goes on,
Rest
you
for
will get
15
better at
seconds.
these exercises.
3,
Woo!
2,
And
1.
rest.
Rest.
Okay, if you need water, remember to grab that water. Okay. Side lunge are up next.
Side lunges
So,
for 45 seconds.
You are going to
3,
step out to the
2,
side,
1.
bend
Side lunges.
the leg. Step out to the other side, bend the leg. Remember, those lunges are 45 degrees in the knees. It is the same thing as that front lunge that I taught you, but you're going out to the side. So it's like you're sitting back on a chair with one leg where the knee is not over the toe, so you're sitting back, but you're stepping out to the side. And the leg that's stepping out to the side is the one that is sitting back on the chair. And the inner thigh is working on the opposite leg. So it's out to each
Up
side.
next, rest for 15
Oh.
seconds.
I'm glad that rest is coming now.
3, 2, 1.
And
Rest.
woo, rest. Walk around. See, some of these exercises get you out of breath. Some don't. Now this
Up
one's going to be
next,
easy for you
roll-ups
guys,
for
but
45
it's going to be
seconds.
hard for me.
3, 2,
Roll up. Coach
Roll
Gonzalez
up.
can't do this one that great. You can probably do it better. So roll back and come up. Woo! You can go each side. Roll back and roll up. Woo! Aren't these fun? Now, I know that this is probably easy for you guys. So you can probably come rolling up on 2 feet together. So if you can do your feet together when you're coming up, you do that. Coach Gonzalez can't do that anymore, but I sure can try.
Up
So,
next,
woo!
rest for 15 seconds.
Okay, Coach Gonzalez is going to do that with
2,
one leg.
1. Rest.
Woo! That's called a roll up. That was tough for me, so I'll have to work on that one, and that's okay.
Up next.
Okay, up
Star
next,
jumps for
star
45
jump.
seconds.
This one
3,
is great for all those
2,
cheerleaders out
1.
there.
Star jump.
Star jump. Woo! Now you can jump. You can bend down, touch the ground, come up and star jump. Woo! You can holler. Yes! I've got this. Woo! Okay, if you need a break, deep breath. Come back to it. Squat down, star jump. Squat down, star jump. Guess what? We've only got one exercise left after this. Wow. And, okay, I'll admit, I need a little bit of a break. Ooh, those legs are getting tight, so I'm not going to squat down quite as far.
Up next,
Whew.
rest for 15 seconds.
Now I'm going to squat,
3,
star jump.
2, 1. Rest.
Oh, now I needed the rest on that one. My body worked very hard. Now this last one is going to be for the
Up
abs.
next, V-ups
V-ups.
for 45 seconds.
So, you can
3,
do here,
2,
legs
One.
flat on the ground,
V-ups.
bring your arms off the ground, and your feet off the ground. That's called V-up. Now, if that's too hard, you want to take your legs up and bring your hands to your toes. So if you can't do the complete V-up, where your arms and legs are both off the ground, just bring your legs off the ground and bring your hands, shoulders off the ground up to meet your toes. So here's the advanced version. Here's the intermediate version. And if that's still too hard, bend your
Rest
knees
for 15 seconds.
and just keep
3,
moving.
2, 1.
Oh,
Rest.
wow. Whew. Now we're done. So when you're done with an exercise, you should always stretch out a little bit. So
Workout
you
video
can,
2 completed.
that is,
3,
the workout is
2,
complete.
1.
Thank you,
Your
man.
timer is
Okay,
complete.
so you can bring right leg over the left. Bring your hands down to the ground and stretch your legs out. Now, if you can't reach all the way down, just go as far as you can. And hold that for a couple of seconds. Come back up. Then bring the opposite leg over the, stand on the opposite foot and bring the opposite leg over and bend down. I said it that way because I'm sure that if you're looking at me and I'm on my right foot, you're probably on your left foot. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm sweating. I worked hard on that exercise routine, and I hope you got a good I hope you had a good workout today with that exercise routine. And I will keep bringing new ones for you. And you can do this exercise routine by yourself later on today if this wasn't enough. But remember to stretch, so bend down and touch those toes. You can grab your shoelaces and bend at the knee. That's stretching out those quadriceps. But for now, I'm out of time. So thank you, kiddos. See you for the next PE workout.
Shh. Don't wake the wiggle worms. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka crash boom bam. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka crash boom bam. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms wake. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms shake. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms climb. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms slime. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka crash boom bam. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka crash boom bam. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms dance. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms prance. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms giggle. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms wiggle. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka crash boom bang. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka crash boom bam. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms hop. Wiggle worms, wiggle worms, wiggle worms stop. Wiggle worms, do not make a peep. Wiggle worms, fall fast asleep. Shh. Don't wake the wiggle worms. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka crash boom bam. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka crash boom bam. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka crash boom bam. Boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka boom shakalaka laka crash boom bam.
Hi friends, I'm Miss Bergeron and I'm a kindergarten teacher at St. Tammany Parish Public Schools. Today I have a story to share with you guys called Madeline Finn and the Library Dog. This book was written and illustrated by Lisa Papp. Oh my, she had a really big job to do. She was the author and the illustrator. do you remember what the author does? That's right, the author writes the words in the book. What about the illustrator? Yes, the illustrator draws all of the beautiful pictures in the book. So she did both jobs. Let's get started reading. Madeline Finn and the Library Dog. I do not like to read. Not books, not magazines, not even the menu on the ice cream truck. And I especially do not like to read out loud. Keep trying, Madeline Finn, my teacher says. But sometimes I can't figure out the words. Sometimes the sentences get stuck in my mouth like peanut butter. Sometimes people giggle when I make a mistake. And I never get a star sticker from my teacher. Not even a smiley face. Instead, I get a heart that says, keep trying. I get a lot of keep trying stickers, but I want the star. Stars are for good readers. Stars are for understanding words and for saying them out loud. But I know what else they're for. Stars are for making wishes. So I make a wish for my very own star. I guess wishes take a while because I don't get my star on Monday or Tuesday. Keep trying, my teacher tells me on Wednesday. On Thursday, I say the frog's name wrong. It's Samuel. I try to get away with Sam, but it doesn't work. Friday is no better. On Saturday, Mom takes me to the library. Hello, Madeline Finn, Miss Dimple says. She's our librarian. I don't like to read, I remind her, in case she forgot. Oh, I remember, she says, but today we have something special, something you might enjoy. What do you think the special treat is for Madeline? Let's keep reading to find out. Madeline Finn, would you like to read to a dog? Mrs. Dimple leads me over to a big white dog. This is Bonnie. Why don't you pick out a book to read to her? She's a great listener. Bonnie is beautiful, like a big snowy polar bear. Would you like to try, Mom asks. Yes, please, I say, but not very loud. At first, I'm nervous. I get the letters mixed up. The words don't sound right. But then I look at Bonnie, and she looks right into my eyes. She doesn't giggle. I feel better. I try again. Halfway through, I get stuck on another word. Bonnie doesn't mind. She puts her big paws in my lap and lets me pet her until I figure it out. After that, Bonnie and I read together every Saturday. It's fun to read when you're not afraid of making mistakes. Bonnie teaches me that it's okay to go slow and to keep trying, just like the sticker says. I still don't have a star, but I can be patient like Bonnie. Soon, it's almost time to read in class again. But when I go to the library, Bonnie's not there. Neither is Mrs. Dimple. Would you like to wait for another dog? The other librarian asks. No, thank you, I say as politely as I can. Don't worry, Mom tells me later. Bonnie was just busy today. I wonder what Bonnie could have been doing. But what about school, I ask. You'll do fine, she says. Just pretend you're reading to Bonnie. On Monday morning, I am very nervous. Madeline Finn, would you like to read next? My teacher asks. Yes, please, I say, but still not very loud. The first sentence goes pretty well. Then I mess up on a word. And then another. I hear someone giggle. But then I think about Bonnie. I take a deep breath and pretend she's right next to me. Next thing I know, I'm at the bottom of the page. I look at my teacher and she has a big smile on her face. I did it! I got my star! On Saturday, we go to the library again. Mrs. Dimple is back. I got my star, I tell her. I want to give it to Bonnie. Well done, Madeline Finn, she says. I think Bonnie might have a surprise for you too. What do you think Bonnie's surprise is? Let's see. Madeline Finn, would you like to read to Bonnie and her puppies? Yes, please, I say nice and loud. I love this story because Madeline shows us that we can do really hard things if we keep trying. So today, I want you to find a family member or maybe a pet like Bonnie, or even just a stuffed animal in your room, and see if you can read them a story all by yourself. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes.